did you change it now?
We are officially live. We've been sitting here for an hour and a half talking to you guys. And I was wondering why the chat was so quiet. I was like, oh yeah, we've got like 8 people here. Like, they're talking. We're all good. We have not been streaming this whole damn time. I'm like 123 pages into the book. Like, I've read a bunch of stuff. I've gone over some cool stuff. And we have not streamed any of it. I am so mad right now. That is such a bummer. We have seriously thought you guys could hear us this whole time.
I mean, that would explain why nobody wanted to answer my questions.
Yeah, Paula's like, so does this look like a hot mess? Like, what should I paint the bricks? Like, I had no idea, guys. I had the wrong stream key. It wasn't even streaming. I'm so mad. We had I was excited. I was like, oh, we got 11 people here. Anyways, well, thanks for joining us for the next half hour. Oh my gosh. Well, Cameron, I'm glad you said that.
I mean, I would just like to say that I have nothing to do with the technical aspect of anything. So I take zero blame for that mishap.
So we were even like, oh, I wonder if Roll Stats is going to show up. I even muted my microphone and I was like, well, I don't know if he's going to show up tonight. We were talking earlier. And then I unmuted it and I thought everything was good. I can't believe it. And then I'm asking questions about your physical therapy. What's his name? Barker, whatever. You know what I'm talking about. And then I'm like, why are they talking about smack talk? Nobody's responding to us whatsoever. Oh my gosh. I'm a tool.
Well,
I'm a tool.
I mean,
So should we paraphrase?
So this is
the base?
This is what we're dealing with now at this point. This is how far I've got with the base here. So this is going pretty okay-ish.
It's good.
Sort of. I'm not really sure. And then this is what the wing looks like so far.
Yeah, so we've been here since actually before 8:30. Paula was out here early. And I was like, well, we're not going live yet. And then I got water and everything. And I think I got distracted because I was trying to pull up the PDF and everything.
Because I'm so distracting.
She is very distracting for me. So I was like, oh, okay. So yeah, I'll give you a 30-second recap. So first of all, I am 122 pages into this 274-page PDF, by the way. I'm not going to show images of it on stream. I'm using it on my other computer. First off, I love what's in this book. There's a couple key takeaways for me. So when it came from the ancestries, I love how they've done the Aasimar, the Tiefling, the extra planar things that you can basically stack onto any ancestry, whether you're a dwarf, elf, things like that. I really like that. So you can now, when you take an ancestry, you can forego a heritage to use one of these, like an Aasimar human or an Aasimar goblin, right? You can layer these things up in different ways. So again, it creates more customization and it makes more sense because obviously you can be a human with, celestial blood, or tiefling blood, you know what I mean? So I really like that. So we talked about that. We talked about some of the backgrounds. We've gone through a lot of the classes. We've talked about the new ones, the witches, the oracles. Obviously none of it was on stream. I don't care too much about the investigator or the swashbuckler, but the oracle is cool. We talked a little bit about how curses work. So the way, they get 3 tiers when they use their special ability, their special spells. And so we looked at the ancestral one especially. So for example, when you do this type of spell, it's your ancestors are possibly impeding your ability to cast it. They might mean well, they might not. But the point is it makes it a little bit harder to do that spell. Then it gets harder, so it moves up a tier. And so then you have to go against the type. So you might have a martial ancestor or a skill-based ancestor or a spellcaster type of ancestor. And so if you're trying to do a spell, for example, but your martial ancestor is bothering you, you're now going to have a penalty to your spell. If you're doing a strike, though, you get bonuses to damage as long as that's the one who's impeding you. So that's kind of cool. Everything is very flavorful, all the decisions in this game.
And it's been like an hour and a half, and I can't even stay on camera, so maybe you're all excited anyway that you missed.
Yeah. I was like, so what do you guys think of the camera angle? And I played with it a little, and nobody was saying it. I should have figured it out.
You know, this whole time, Chance, we've been strategizing about your new endeavor into essential oils and aromatherapy.
I thought he was reacting to us saying that, too.
And, like, I'm just disappointed that you're not getting any of the information.
So I made jokes and everything, and I swear your responses in the chat made me think you heard us. Oh my gosh. Anyways, so you can now.
So starting back on page 1.
Well, no. So we also, again, I'm going to continue to like give the update. So that was what was cool about the Oracle. The Witch is really cool. Obviously, you get a patron. It's just basically like a warlock from another game. But you get a patron, which the patrons are a little more vague. Like it's cursed, it's bone, it's knight. Like those are the types of patrons. It's more like it's runes. Like those are the different patrons. So it doesn't tell you specifically like, oh, it's this deity or this. You take the inspiration of what it's saying and use it how you want. So I like that. Read through some of the feats, things like that. Why are you moving that again?
You know what? Because it's not situated properly. Just
You've already had it in this position and moved it from this position.
Shut your mouth. Shut it.
So, anyways,
you're doing great.
So went through the witch stuff. The witch is really cool. So my takeaways also with the ancestries. I really like kobolds, but I love
he was freaking out about the kobolds. But
the goblin came up, and now I want to play a goblin witch.
Yeah, and to say that he wants to play a spellcaster is like even more.
It's not abnormal.
Oh, come on!
I love the barbarian stuff too.
How many times are you ever like, yeah, I want to play a spellcaster? Like
first of all, you and I don't talk about what I want to play ever.
You never are like,
you and I never had that conversation.
That's so cool. Like, I'll go to make a spellcaster and I'm like, oh yeah, I could do this thing or like.
Yeah, but you always want to play a spellcaster.
Do you have a suggestion on a spell? And you're like, I know nothing about spells.
Chance is like, I'm thinking we just do an extra long stream. I'm cool with that. It's only 10 o'clock. We could, if Paula's up for it, we can go at least another hour.
I mean, like, I've got a lot of stuff to paint here. So if you guys are chatty, you know.
Cameron.
I'm going to do my best.
Yeah, we know Cameron. But anyway, so, there was so much good stuff. I really wish, I was on a roll. Like, I feel like there's been some good stuff. So I really like the barbarian stuff in here. You know, they've got things where you can, like, hurl, like, boulders now at, like, low levels. I call it, like, the Hulk up ability. So what I was saying is, when I started reading the Kobold, I got really excited. Basically, it's, you know, they're dragon-based. You can do, like, a little mini breath weapon, you know, some other cool stuff. Kobolds are really cool in this because they're now playable ancestry. But then I got the Goblin, and you got, like, Squishy Goblin, which made me think, oh, crap, that means they're, like, easy to kill. No, they can, like, force themselves into, like, a purse, like, small little confined areas, and then to get them out of it is, like, extra hard. Like, they get bonuses to stay in there. Tell the truth, you were waiting for Paula to finish her fancy new red nails. She did that last night, actually.
Yeah,
they do stand out.
Do they?
Like,
they do. You know, actually, I finished them this morning during my team call.
Those are actually my hands roll stats. Just so you know. No. But so I really like the goblins. And like as I'm going through this, like I feel like I was so excited and I was like, no, like this is really flavorful. Like every decision is like it has so much character and personality to it. And so I love this book already, and I'm not even halfway into it. There's a lot of spells, like there's like 50 pages of spells. There's not a ton of pages of feats. There's only like 10 pages of feats, but within those 10 pages, there's a lot, obviously. And then there's also the feats that are under the classes and the ancestries. But like the designated section for feats is only like 10 pages. So anyways, we read through the Paladins. You can now play evil Paladins, which is kind of cool. But I just was explaining to Paula that I probably would not necessarily allow that at my table because how most people tend to play evil characters. If you have a cool group that you trust to play them as smart characters rather than just I'm going to kill everything and torture everything, then it can be fun. If you have a group that's going to kill everyone and whatever, then no good. King of the One. So I'm talking about the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Advanced Player's Guide. It comes out in a couple weeks. I have a review copy of the PDF from Paizo. And so I'm going through it and just talking about my impressions of things, reading over some stuff. However, the first hour and a half, we were accidentally not streaming. So I'm really bummed out about that.
So, surprise, you actually showed up at the very beginning.
Yeah, you only showed up in the first 10 minutes.
I mean, it's all good.
Yeah.
But, so, have you ever played, like, an evil campaign?
Yeah, we played as Gith in a game before I told you about.
How did that go?
Well, we were all, like, lawful characters, too. So, lawful evil for the most part. Yeah, so we still had order and structure. No, I mean, we had PvP. I got killed by our captain. 30 minutes into a game that I had spent like 2 weeks working on a backstory for a character. But I mean, it was also episodic. So the first time, I had a ranger that died. But that was like a normal, like a regular death. So then I was working on a new character and I was like, okay, Gith are like skinny, scrawny guys. I want to be like built like Brock Lesnar though. Like I want him to not fit in. And then the game master was like, yeah, I like it. Let's say that he's young. Let's give him a name that means like prodigy or like the chosen one, the prophet. Let's call him the Prodicarum. And I was like, yes. And like, so we built it up, and then like even starting the session was cool. Well, then we were choosing our astral horses, and I was like, I go for the biggest one because I was big. And as I went to do it, the captain grabbed the leash at the same time as I did. And so I was like, I don't let go. So I pissed him off, right? Because I basically attacked his authority. So then we did our little travel thing, had a scene, and then we climbed like a mountain, and we were on a rope. And then I was the last one because you go up in rank order, and I was the new character, so I was bottom ranked. And he came over to the rope as I was almost at the top and cut it. But I was a barbarian, so I got that dex bonus thing.
Yeah.
So I was able to do a dex save to grab onto the ledge, and because I'm so strong, I was able to easily pull myself up, no problem. However, as I did that...
Almost drank the wrong water, you guys.
It looks like chocolate milk. As I did that, he took my greatsword off my back. And I couldn't do anything because my hands were occupied. So anyways, he was a paladin. He Misty stepped away, then Misty stepped back, cut me in half. I died. Because he obviously did smite and all that stuff. It was rough. Anyways, so yeah, we're going through the Pathfinder 2nd Edition Advanced Player's Guide. So 2nd Edition Pathfinder already I feel like was really good, especially from a player standpoint. You get a lot of choices, and it's not too complex. Like the choices are not overwhelming once you kind of understand what you're doing. It doesn't take long to figure that out. But it's not normally how you build a character. You're not rolling dice for your stats. You're getting your stats from your choices. So like if you choose to be a dwarf, you get a +2 in Constitution, a +2 in one other ability, for example, right? I've drunk brushwater before. Gritty.
Oh.
5e is not built for PvP. No, if you win initiative, you pretty much win the fight. So yeah, I agree, Chance. But yeah, so anyways, there's the choices you make. So you choose your ancestry, and then it tells you which attributes to put a bump in. Every attribute you put one bump in, that's 2. You start at 10, and if you put 2 in something, it's 12. So obviously a +1 modifier, right? You also get 2 things from your background. So like say you're a blacksmith, it might be strength and wisdom. I don't actually know off the top of my head. And then you choose your class. Say it's a fighter. You might choose strength and constitution again. And then you get 4 free ones. Now, you can't put any of the free ones into, like, you can't double it up. So, like, when you have 4 free ones, you can't go strength, dex, con. Like, you have to choose 4 unique ones at that time. So, you could still put it into strength, even if you did strength from your class, strength from your race. But you can't do a strength from free choice twice, if that makes sense. You can also, if you choose to at character creation, take a flaw in ability, which means you take a -2, so like from 10 to 8, which now makes it a -1 modifier. And then you can get another free ability boost. So there is that as well. Once you've done this, you get certain things from all of those. But, like, for example, 5e gives you a template. So, like, the template is if you're a dwarf, you get these things. Your background gives you these things, and your class gives you these things. There's not a lot of choices within those, right? Whereas Pathfinder has a very small template that they then surround it with choices. So you might be a barbarian, but now you can choose like what's your ancestry, or not your ancestry, but your the type of barbarian you are, and you also then get to pick a feat that rounds out, you know, what your barbarian's good at. So you can make a fighter that's a shield-based fighter. You can make a fighter that's good with different types of weapons. You can make him good at dual wielding, like whatever. But you get more customization on how he's going to be built from the ground up throughout the whole game. It's really cool. And like the same thing from your ancestries. You can choose things there that might lend themselves to the class you're going to play, or completely different, just adding a different dynamic to your character. So it's really awesome. And there's a lot of flavor there that adds to the character, right? And how you might role play it. Now, this book, from just going through it so far, we've gone through all the ancestries, backgrounds, now we're at cleric. We've looked at all the new ancestries. We just, again, obviously didn't do it on stream, apparently. This one adds way more flavor. Like, I just feel like, for example, when I got to the goblin, I'm like, yes, like this is awesome.
He was so excited about the goblin.
Chance says Pathfinder lets you create actual heroes. 5e lets you make 30-minute turn nerds. So again, I like 5e. I think 5e is great if you just want to get into a game and play like really quick. It works. You know, I can make a character in 5 minutes thanks to D&D Beyond, whatever level, and I can just get in and play a game and just have fun rolling some dice. Pathfinder, it does take a little bit longer because there's choices. You got to think about, well, what do I want to do? But it's not overwhelming. I know a lot of people look at the core book and they're like, oh my God, 600 pages. Like, what? You're not going to use that many pages.
Yeah, it narrows down pretty quickly as you're building a character.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay, here are the, 5 choices I have. So just read those choices. Like,
yes,
when you're making your first character.
An ancestor gives you like 4.
Just, yeah, you continue to narrow it down. So I don't know that, I don't know. I didn't go through and read the entire book. It was just, well, what kind of character do I want to make? So then what are my choices in that character?
And you might change your mind if you see an option that sounds really interesting.
Yeah. So I think that's the best way to do it. Chance might make a dwarven fighter, and I might make a dwarven fighter. And they are going to be completely different from a mechanical standpoint. Like, he might take the dwarven fighter that makes him a little bit more hardy and more defensive. I might take the one that allows me to, work really well against mobs of enemies and turn their attacks against them when they flank me. Somebody else might make a dwarven fighter that's, again, just going to be awesome at doing damage to a single creature. Like, there's just so many different ways to build them. It's really cool. Which I feel like is really nice as you have, similar characters in the same party.
Yes.
So you don't feel like you're the same as somebody else. And especially, I don't know, I usually notice that people who have played a long time typically pick, Sometimes they pick the more unique races because it's like
They
you've
get bored.
played 87 elves at this point. Like, how much different can you make an elf versus the other 87 elves you've made?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just gets to be redundant. So then everybody goes after the more unique races, and those have even less like options or whatever, which is, you know, makes it hard, I guess.
So Pathfinder First Edition, I have almost a half a shelf dedicated to it. I used to have more books. I sold a bunch of them. I bought a bunch of those books and could not get into that system really. We played it a little bit. I ran it for some people, and then 5e came out and I just didn't look back. Pathfinder Second Edition has fixed a lot of stuff I didn't like about First Edition. It's still complex. Like, don't get me wrong. There's rules for a lot of stuff. But they're, I feel like, a lot easier to remember. The subsystems for doing different things in the DM's guide or the Game Mastery guide are really good for improvising different things players might want to do. Did they add anything new to the Halfling? Yeah, there's no feats. I didn't really pay much attention. Do you want me to go back to that? I will go back to the Halfling. Bear with me for a moment. But like everything just, I got so excited. Like, this is a great product. Classes. Where's a halfling? Dwarf. All right, dwarf, elf, gnome, goblin ancestries, halfling heritages. So there's the jinxed halfling. You can never take the halfling luck feat, and you gain the jinx action. A jinx action. You can curse another creature with clumsiness. This curse has a range of 30 feet, and you must be able to see your target. The target gets a will saving throw to resist your jinx using your class DC or spell DC, whichever is higher. Success. The target is unaffected and is temporarily immune for 24 hours. Failure. The target is clumsy. Clumsy 1 for 1 minute. Critical failure. The target is clumsy 2 for 1 minute. So that's kind of interesting. Folksy Patter, Prairie Rider. None of these really sound that interesting to me, but halflings don't excite me in Pathfinder. Step lively. You are an expert at avoiding the lumbering footsteps of larger creatures. You step to another space adjacent to the enemy. And that's a reaction. So basically you can just move as a reaction for a step. Dance, and that's a 5th level feat. 9th level, prerequisite step lively for dance underfoot. You dart under the legs of your enemies in combat. You can end a successful tumble through action in a larger enemy space. Also, when using the Step Lively feat, you can step into the triggering enemy's space. The enemy must have limbs or otherwise leave you enough room for this maneuver, as determined by the GM. For instance, you could share space with a giant or dragon, but not an ooze. They got some other stuff.
That makes sense.
That one's kind of cool.
Shan says, I just find the halfling is super dry in terms of flavor.
Yeah, I agree, because I actually like halflings in 5e. I'm just not that into them here in this book.
I'm playing a halfling on Saturday, right?
I think so.
I feel like I'm playing a halfling. It's like, what was that?
No, you're a gnome. Gnomes have flavor, though.
No, on Saturday we're playing the Tyranny of Dragons game, right?
What are you playing on that? A halfling druid?
I think I'm playing a halfling.
Are you? I don't know.
Like a ghost-wise halfling.
Oh, that's right, you are.
Right?
Yeah, and I don't know anything about ghost-wise halflings.
I mean, like, same, so...
So clerics, that's where I'm at in this book.
We're about to find out about it.
They get some... Wow, they get some reactions. At first level, Premonition of Avoidance. Bless me.
You.
Corona. All right, so Premonition of Avoidance. The trigger is you attempt a saving throw against a hazard, but you haven't rolled yet. Your deity grants you limited foresight, warning you of dangers an instant before they occur. You gain a +2 circumstance bonus to the triggering saving throw. Nice. Yeah, I don't know. It looks like they do some cool stuff with clerics here. Shield of Faith, level 10. Martyr is level 8. Basically, it looks like it takes a single action. You go to extreme lengths to support your allies, even when it means bringing harm to yourself. If your next action is to cast harm or heal from your healing, or harmful font to restore hit points to a single ally, You can channel your own vitality along with the spell. You lose 1d8 hit points per level of the spell, which can't be reduced or mitigated in any way, and your ally regains an equal number of hit points.
Ooh.
So basically, you can sacrifice your own hit points for others.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
And I don't know. It's a meta magic. It does. I mean, it sounds like it wouldn't actually give up a spell, though. Like, basically, you use it in place of spell slots.
Do you think that's looking okay?
I think it's fine for now. Again, I think you just started. Right?
Yeah, I mean, but, like, you know, also, if it looks like crap, you have to tell me it looks like crap. That's your responsibility.
It doesn't look like crap. It's too early to say that. So, Cleric looks interesting. Druid, Verdant Weapon. Elemental Summons, Leshy Familiar Secrets, current spell. Diamatic Display. So far, I like the Barbarian stuff a lot. I like the Goblin stuff. I like the Kobold stuff. The Oracle is cool. Like, there's a lot of cool things in here that I do like. Every single class gets something, you know. Whether it's going to be your cup of tea or not, I don't know. But there's a lot of stuff I like. Every ancestry gets something. Again, I like how they layered the tieflings and the Aasimars on there. The planar stuff. I like that. You have full-blooded orcs now. The rat folk are actually kind of cool. When we went through the rat folk, that was awesome, wasn't it? A lot of flavor there.
Yeah.
I'm not a cat folk fan, so I just kind of skipped that. So
he admits to not liking cats.
I do not hate cats. Just cats are so arrogant sometimes.
And apparently he's not capable of playing an arrogant character.
I did not say that either. I just said I don't want to most of the time. Like when we played that game where the elves were real arrogant in our group, that Brian and Andre were playing. Or not Andre, but Matt. Brian and Matt were playing.
Yeah.
Like I was like,
fun.
meh. Like, yeah, but that's not a role that I would play.
Oh, I just think it's fun to play.
Sure. I thought it was fun with them as players. I don't think it'd be fun for me as a player. Cameron says rat folk are awesome. Dude, there's so much flavor in this book for them. Like, they can summon rats as a familiar. They can... The different types, like they have a long snout one that you can basically sniff. Rather, like, say you're blinded, you can still sniff out where people are. There's different ones that, like, allow dark vision. Yeah, there's some cool stuff for rat folk. And I mentioned, too, Bob is offended by the cat comment. Again, I've had cats. We had 3 cats early on in our relationship. So, yeah, we got a dog now. I'm not some... So I like animals. I like pets. I just prefer them not to be my responsibility, is what it comes down to. I don't want the extra responsibility.
It's kind of the same way he feels about, you know,
children,
like gardens and,
yes,
you know, like
lawns. I
houses.
love beautiful grass and houses. I don't want to do all the work for it, though.
I know, like, just, like, mowing the lawn. He's like, I don't know. I think it's going to look fine if I don't mow it.
I mean...
Let alone, like...
I should take you for a drive through town tomorrow. The house over here where the roof is falling apart, their grass is like this right now.
Yeah, but, like, the neighbors next to us are all out, like, doing the edging.
Wait.
And, like...
The neighbors, you
know,
mean the ones that bring in, like, 17 family members to come do their yard work with them?
Stop.
Those ones?
They've got, like, their edging all looks fancy and, like they're weed whacking every other day. And I'm
They're
like,
not that
we don't even
excessive.
have a weed whacker, you guys.
We don't.
Like, it's...
Okay,
the struggle is
we
real.
are in the most important part of this stream. We're talking about fighters.
I'm sorry. Oh, God.
All right.
Yeah, like...
First level.
Sorry, guys. Hold on.
This is more important. So, you guys think you came for the miniature painting. You clearly came for this. The fighter.
Nobody came for this. Nobody came for it. Nobody wants to hear you.
First level feat.
Nobody wants to.
Combat assessment. You make a telegraphed attack to learn about your foe. Make a melee strike. On a hit, you can immediately attempt a check to recall knowledge about the target. On a critical hit, you gain a +2 circumstance bonus to the check to recall knowledge. The target is temporarily immune to combat assessment for 1 day. So it sounds like, in other words, you can learn something about your enemy. It's not real specific on what you get, but it sounds like the DM would tell you something about the creature you attacked, right? Second level, Dragging Strike. You aim your weapon to snag a foe's armor, clothing, or flesh to pull them closer. Make a melee strike. If you hit a target that is your size or smaller, that creature is flat-footed until the end of your current turn. So that's cool, because then it basically makes their armor class less, so other people can now tear them up. And you can move it 5 feet towards you. When you move the creature, you can move the same distance in the same direction as it, even if you're adjacent to the target. This movement doesn't trigger reactions. The strike has the following failure effect. The target becomes flat-footed until the end of your current turn on a failure. Huh? So, does it mean that you become flat-footed until the end of your current turn?
The target.
But this is on a failure. Why would the target be flat-footed if you missed?
Well, what's the penalty for...
That's what I think it is. It says this strike has the following failure effect. Oh, maybe that means just for them. I was away from keyboard. Yeah, so we did not realize that we weren't streaming.
I'm sorry.
Since 8:15.
He says we.
You didn't know we weren't
actually
streaming.
Means is him. Well,
I didn't say you screwed up. I screwed up.
I prefer to watch the other screen, so this is your preference that we watch this screen. If we were watching the other screen via my preference, everything would have been
So this is your preference right here?
Like,
the one that's delayed by a minute?
Yeah, because I want to, trying to,
This won't show you your focus because now it's delayed a minute.
Stop it. Stop it.
So anyways, we screwed up, Barking Cricket. My bad.
I'm just saying.
By we screwed up, she distracted me because I ran in to get water and I came out and I was opening my PDF at the same time and all this stuff. And she came out early, which was like a shocker. Because normally she's more late than she is early when it comes to mini painting. It was crazy.
That's because I have to put the kids to bed.
That's not always true. Besides, you told Lily she could stay up. In fact, she's probably still awake right now.
She's probably not.
I don't know.
I bet you.
I don't know. So anyways, fighters, barreling charge. Oh, so that was what was cool too. So the Barbarian has an ability that they can just charge through. Well, one, they can do a double move and bust open like a door or flip a table or whatever, like remove an obstacle as 2 actions rather than 3. They also, later on, can do the same thing with enemies, where they can bust through an enemy. They can do 2 movements and bust through an enemy for 2 actions. And so then, once the enemy's knocked out of the way, they can move towards something further back. So I was like, I would probably house rule if a barbarian has that ability, and say there's 20 goblins in the course of an area, I'd let them bust through the row of them to get to the big bad guy in the back with that ability, as long as they keep succeeding on the attacks, because that's the idea. You have to succeed on the attack, and then you can move the enemy 5 feet to the side. I just think that'd be so cool because of the rule of cool. Juice, got to tell you, dude, if you're going to paint your nails purple as more of your color. Thank you. I appreciate that.
I mean, I could do purple next time, you guys.
So yeah, the Barbarian again had some really cool stuff that I like. The Fighter looks like it has some really cool stuff as well. The Barbarian can throw boulders and things like that for 1d10 damage up to 3d10 damage after a little bit, which is really cool. I don't know. There's just some good stuff. Monks, I don't really care much about monks. They get some new stances here, it looks like. Gorilla stance, stumbling stance, monastic archer stance, all first level. Second level, ancestral weaponry, shooting stars stance, cobra stance at 4th, peafowl stance. Stances are a big deal. It's you do an action to get into a certain fighting style stance.
Yeah. And
then from the stance, you can do extra damage, extra to hit, cool things from the stance.
Oh, okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. It's kind of like in The Matrix when he switches his stance up, and then all of a sudden he's able to do some cool stuff because he's in a different stance. Yeah, I saw you guys chatting. I thought you guys could hear us. I was dumb. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I got to figure out a better way to not make that mistake again.
I mean, you could just check and make sure everything's working.
Yeah, next time I'm going to double check. I need to make a checklist for myself. I'm not kidding. That's how I operate.
And then from now on, you guys, it's going to go live, and then it's going to be, like,
Check.
silent for a while.
Check. Okay, we're good.
And he's going to be, like, 10 minutes later, okay, everything's set.
Yep. So after the stream, if you guys are patrons, you will get, I'm going to take pictures of everything Paula painted. They will go straight to the patron, and then in a day or two, they'll end up in Discord, and then they'll end up on Instagram. So that's kind of a perk of being a patron. We've got other nice perks, obviously. $50 tier, you get a black and gold shirt. Gold logo, special gold shirt. Which,
VIP.
Yeah, in fact, you know what?
VIP.
I'm just going to show it. It's going to be the gold shirt. There we go. Let's go find this.
VIP.
I don't know if I've shown it off yet.
Well, what's the deal?
I don't know.
You also get, like, points that you can use in live streams. So, like, if you want to make so that shirt. My character is, like, even better and gets, like, critical successes all the time, you know, that'd be, like, a great thing to do.
Yep, or you could use it against her and get her killed.
We would become besties.
Or Luke, you can get Luke's character
right
killed.
Away.
Get, like, an auto crit against him.
Yeah.
Force him to use some of his rerolls to stay alive, you know? Death saves.
Yeah, I mean, his next character is, like, a swashbuckler, so...
Is it? Oh, yeah, he did say something like that, didn't he?
Yeah, he said something like that. Yeah, because I actually made a backup character for that game. And I kind of like my backup character, so, like...
Oh, no, it's one of those things, huh?
You know, I also wouldn't be mad.
I'm just playing around with the shirt. I'm sorry, guys.
What are you doing?
I don't know.
So
anyways,
knows what you're doing.
So that's the shirt. If you're interested, $50 will get you that shirt. It'll get sent out after the first of the month. So I like it. I think it's a cool shirt. Gold, master the game, VIP. So anyways, but yeah, and then obviously you can just go and buy the other stuff if you want to support the channel. You know, all that good stuff. We are going to be doing... So this is a review copy I have, by the way. So this is not actually out yet, this Advanced Player's Guide. It'll be out, I think, on the 30th. There's some people who have got it who pre-ordered it as well. And they only got it because their books shipped first. So those people got it. The next tier of books, when that gets shipped, I guess more people will get the PDF version. Something like that. I don't know. But yeah. I'm wishing I had the fundage to back y'all. What level on Patreon will qualify for the shirt? So it's the $50 tier. That's our highest tier. $50 tier gets a one-time offer on the shirt. You get $50 credit towards buying rerolls and things like that in games. You also get to create a city with all the factions, all the NPCs for my homebrew world on a continent called... Right now we're calling it Patronus. We don't have a real name for it, but that's what we're running
But, like, it's open to suggestions.
Yep.
So, like, if you have good ideas, you know,
Yep.
just, like, say something,
Yep.
and it'll end up happening.
Yeah, Blue Dragon, you're going to love it. This is such a good book. I can't wait to get the physical book. It's going to be great.
I feel like these are nails. Like, the end here, these are the nails, right?
Basically. Do you make them red? I'm just kidding. Please don't.
And I know I'm not going to. And up here.
Yeah, what's that?
Right?
Nails again?
Yeah, I think those are all, like, hooks, like claws.
Oh, maybe.
I guess nails
those
is not
ones
the right
too.
word.
I don't think those two are. You do?
Yeah.
Those two?
Yeah, at the top of the wings.
That's weird. I'm thinking like more like spikes that come out of like a Stegosaurus
they're like
or something.
Claws, so they can hook onto things.
On its shoulder blade there?
Yeah, like...
No.
Oh, come on. Are you kidding me?
Up here, it's a nail?
Are you kidding me? Because
that's its shoulder.
They hold on with their legs.
Or elbow.
And their claws, and they
No,
like
he's
hook
got
it in
4
for
legs
stability.
and claws.
So what
he doesn't need that to
What
hook
exactly do you think this is? Like, it's just random spikes that serve no purpose?
I mean, a dragon's not a real creature. But if you want to look at real creatures like pterodactyls and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have little hooks right there.
But they have 2 legs.
2 things.
They have 2 legs, not 4. There's a difference. I don't think that's to hold on to anything. No. I'm telling you. This is where it deviates from reality. Show me a pterodactyl with 4 legs. Now that I said that, someone's going to post it in my Discord. Show me a pterodactyl with 4 legs. That also has hooks on its wings.
Guys, I don't know how to deal with this.
Think of an eagle. Like, an eagle doesn't have a damn spike at the top of its, like, shoulder blade where the wing meets its arm. There's no hooks there. There's no hooks there. 2 words. Feathered dinosaurs. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I agree, Cameron. I'm actually so bogged down with Pathfinder 2e content, the APG might be the last nail in the coffin. Haha. What do you mean, Chance? I love it. This is so good. So, all right. We get a dodging roll from a monk. Oh, it's so good.
Yeah, they're a whole thing. They're called, like, wing claws.
Where are they at? Up on the shoulder blade?
Yeah, like, I'm literally just, like,
Show
birds.
Show me one.
Just, like, birds
Show me
in
one.
general. Hold on, I'm trying to find you a good picture.
In other words, trying to find one still.
So you can shut your mouth. Guys.
Juice, you ever push a duck in the water? Hell no. Those things are vicious. Someone grab a Draconomicon stat.
It's considered part of its wrist. Here's a picture of a freaking pigeon, and they have them.
What do they have?
Wrist. Right there.
There's a spike?
Labeled. Yes.
Okay, but is it called a nail? No. I just said it's like a spike, like a stegosaurus.
Oh my gosh, what do you want? Like,
you said, well, do they grip things with it? And like, no.
Yes, they do. No. That's what it's there for. What do you think it's there for?
No way. All right, we're talking about rangers.
What do you think? Do you understand words?
I understand words. I understand we're talking about rangers.
But do you? Like, I don't know, man.
Rangers are really good in Pathfinder 2nd Edition.
I don't know. Are they?
Yes, they get less multi-attack penalties. Because the 3-action economy is sweet.
I'm over this. I don't even know what to do with you anymore.
Paint your shoulder nails. I mean, your wrist nails. Well, you know, I can do 10 videos a day, and it would still take me over 4 months to cover the player's handbook. Yes, you do very specific videos. I do like what you do, by the way. I like those. Like, he has a video that's literally like a specific halfling and a specific heritage, I think. Like, I just watched the other day.
Oh, fabulous.
Like a single heritage. Like, not... Here's all the heritages for halfling. I can't do micro videos like that. I can't. Oh,
really?
I can't keep myself talking for only a minute and a half.
I think it would be fun to like brainstorm ideas. Like, how is this applicable?
You and I can't brainstorm ideas. We tried brainstorming ideas last night, and you're like, your ideas are too complex. I just want to turn a camera on and talk.
No, I didn't. Hey, no. That's not what I said. That's not what I said.
Every topic, you're like, yeah, we should talk about this. I was like, so like a talking head video.
Like, no,
well,
I mean
I don't want to sit next to you on the couch. And I'm like,
okay. No, shut your mouth. I mean that's what the word. All I'm trying to do is like, we're talking about RPG a day, and I'm just gonna be like, oh yeah, here's what this makes me think of, and he's like, so you just want to sit there and talk about it, and I'm like, well, like, I don't know. You have this vision, create your vision, whatever you want your vision to be, man. Like, whatever it is.
I just don't want it to be boring and people tune out after like video 4 like they always do. And that's across the board. Like, so when you've got 20 people doing day 1, the word's beginning, and they're all doing pretty much the same video, people watch like 3 or 4 of those and they're like, oh, I've already seen a ton of these. I don't give a crap about the rest of this month. So I don't want to do it like that. And I want to do it completely different and just... Rather than be so literal with some of it, I want to use it to inspire good content. But yeah, every feat, ancestry background, etc., get their own video. Yeah, I think it's great, dude. I love what you're doing. Like, it makes it easy too. If someone wants to know how something specifically works, they can just Google it and your thing will come up for YouTube. I think what you're doing is good. That's not my format because I can't only talk for a minute and a half. I just can't do that.
What do you mean? Because his videos are only a minute and a half?
Yeah, like he'll talk specifically about a single heritage.
Yeah, that's perfect. That would be
super
something,
short.
I know, that would be something I would actually watch.
Yeah, you probably would.
Like,
I didn't say you wouldn't.
Okay, so sometimes, guys, like, I search stuff on YouTube looking for, like, oh, this thing D&D related, and it's like 20 minutes, and I'm like, nope. Like,
right.
I'm not even gonna click it unless it's like less than 5 minutes.
Or she's like, oh, white dudes.
I mean, same. Like, there are just some people that I know, like, I should avoid that person.
I've already watched their videos. I don't like those.
Well, like, or you're like, God, I wish somebody would do a video about this.
She won't like my content.
He's the only person that has this video, and, like, I want to watch somebody else.
So Ranger feats. So Rangers are really good. They get less of a penalty on the multi-attacks, which is great. For people who don't know how Pathfinder 2nd Edition does it, there's 3 actions per round. You can, if you're engaged with someone, you can do 3 attacks. You can do your first attack with no penalty, second attack with -5, and third attack -10. If it's a agile weapon, the penalties are a little bit less. If you're a ranger, the penalties for each of those scenarios are a little less. So, like, you can, if it's an agile weapon, you can do, like, no penalty, -2, -4, I think, at some point. It might be a little higher at low levels, but eventually it's 0, -2, -4, which is not bad at all. It's actually really good. So I love that. Also, if you want to get your socks knocked off, YouTube search Pathfinder 2e Ancestry Feats. Have you done all of them yet? I might have to go through all those on your channel. So anyways, Ranger Feats. Level 1, Gravity Weapon. Your expertise with your weapons and commitment to taking out your targets lends you magical power. You gain the Gravity Weapon Warden spell and a focus pool of 1 focus point. So basically you get a spell that's new to this book. Heal Companion, also a level 1. You have a deep devotion to your animal companion that enables you to magically heal their wounds. You gain the Heal Companion Warden spell and a focus pool of 1 focus point. So that's cool. So now they're starting to incorporate some of the spells for rangers in this. Magic Hide at 2nd level, Snare Hopping. Hunter's Luck at level 4. That gives you a Monster Hunter's Luck Warden spell. So yeah, it's a lot of spell stuff. So the core book does not have spells for the ranger. This book is introducing that. So I'm okay with that.
Oh, okay.
So if you do want your spell-less ranger, you can go that way, or the opposite.
I like it when rangers have spells.
I don't.
Really?
Not the way 5e did it. Nope. I don't like it being built into their class that, like, hey, this is one of the things you automatically get. I like spell-less rangers, like in 2nd edition D&D. Like, I don't need a bunch of spells. I don't want them to have spells.
Why? Like,
if I wanted to do nature spells, I'd play a druid. But that's just me. Some of them, yeah, but they're just druid spells. Rogue.
So what's the difference? Like, why is that a big deal?
It's not.
I mean,
there's just a lot
of
of
overlap between all the spellcasters.
In D&D, yes.
Yes.
In Pathfinder, not. It's different.
Correct.
I like how Pathfinder does it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Chance says it. 5e did the Ranger super dirty. Yeah, they made him a 3rd spellcaster, and they suck in combat, in general. So their spells are a 3rd of potency as the druid. A druid casts spells better than them, tanks better than them, has better companions than them. Like, a druid overall is better than a ranger.
Yeah.
In my mind, if I want to play a ranger, I'm reskinning a rogue assassin. Or a fighter. I'm reskinning one of those 2 classes and just making them, I'm role-playing them as a ranger.
Right, or picking those skills and backgrounds that unlock
certain things. Yeah. But I'm not playing a ranger most of the time. Or I might level dip for 1 or 2 abilities, but I don't give a crap about their spells. They're just not very good at it. They're not very good at anything, really. They have some alright area of effect things, but they're not strong at really anything, in my opinion. Alright.
I mean, that's fair.
Rogues. Overextending Feint. Tumble Behind. Plant Evidence. Oh, that's interesting. Clever Gambit. Strong Arm. Underhanded Assault. So there's some cool stuff for rogues in here. Head Stomp. Make an unarmed melee attack against a prone target. On a hit, the target becomes flat-footed to all attacks till the end of your next turn. Basically, you give them a concussion as you curb stomp them. Like, that is really graphic. Analyze weakness. That's cool. Mug. Predictable. You know, they actually, like, I don't know. I feel like I would consider playing a rogue based on some of these things, depending on what build I'm going for. Gloomstalker is okay, but outside of that, they're a liability. Yeah. Like, there's some flavor I like with some of the Rangers. I like the Hunter. I kind of like some of the stuff about it, but again, it's very underpowered, which isn't a problem. But when you're like, when a lot of my experiences with Rangers was in organized play, they were a liability to the groups in a lot of cases. All right, so new Sorcerer Bloodlines.
Ooh.
Genie, Nymph, Psychopomp, Shadow.
What?
Yep.
What?
Ancestral Blood Magic is a new feat. Entreat with Forebears, Elaborate Flourish.
Let's hear about this, like, Genie and Nymph and...
Genie. Through lineage, magic, or wishes made real, the blood of a noble genie flows through your veins. Basically, gives you a spell list, couple skills, grants you certain spells. It's basically just like a new subtype of sorcerer.
Okay, that's kind of cool.
Rogues are hot in every game system. Why is your stuff commenting in different accounts for you, Chance? It's throwing me off. We got Fragrances commenting. We got Pathfinder commenting. We got D&D Spellbook commenting. That's kind of crazy that it's doing that.
He's getting like 87 different views from his 7 different accounts.
He probably is. By jumping back and forth. Yeah, no, I like this. The sorcerers are pretty cool. Wizard. Okay, so I am not a fan of wizards.
I know you're not. You're not a big fan of spellcasters.
That's not true. I like spellcasters. I like sorcerers.
Say that.
I like warlocks. I like clerics. I like druids. Like, that's most of your spellcasters. I don't hate bards, but I don't get excited about them. I would play a bard. All right. Wizard. Arcane Thesis. Staff Nexus. You begin play with a makeshift staff of your own invention. It contains 1 cantrip and 1 first level spell, both from your spellbook. But it gains no charges normally during your preparations. You must expend a spell slot to grant it charges in the same way you would add additional charges to a normal staff. You can craft your makeshift staff into any other type of staff for the new staff's usual cost, adding 2 spells you originally chose to the staff you craft. That's kind of cool. So basically it'll hold spells until you use them, and then you have to load it up again.
Yeah.
Spellbook Prodigy, Energy Ablation. So this stuff actually makes wizards seem interesting to me. Like when I
thought you like wizards.
I don't like wizards.
Oh, I thought you just said you like spellcasters.
I like all spellcasters. No, I said I like warlock, I like sorcerer, I like cleric, I like druid. Like, the only one I'm usually not a fan of in 5e, for example, is the wizard, because they're vanilla as vanilla can be. They're almost all the same in my mind. Like, there's nothing interesting setting them apart.
Like,
for me.
I mean, I'm not saying you're...
For me.
Right? But,
yeah.
like, I don't know.
For me.
I don't know if I agree with that.
I just said for me. There are people who love wizards.
For who?
For me.
For who?
For me. People love wizards. However, for me, there's nothing interesting that differentiates them from each other. and he is the sales Bible. I thought that was your account earlier. So he said, I'm also making a point to drop a like with each account. We're up to 15 likes. Thanks.
I mean, like, sweet dude. I love it.
So, but no, like the customization of the wizards in this to make them completely different makes them more interesting to me.
For you.
Whereas, again, in 5e, you won't find me playing a wizard unless I'm doing something else to make it interesting. Like, hey, he's going to wear armor and he's going to be a mountain dwarf, right? In this, I don't need to do something like that because I can get enough variety within the class itself that I don't have to like look outside. Like we were talking about earlier, where a lot of people like they grow tired of it, so they look for new races to make the game more fun, right? Whereas in this case, I feel like I can find that within the class. You know what I mean?
Right. In this case, you don't ever play wizards. You just hate them inherently.
No, I just told you. You're so mean. Look at her picking on me again. I'm a little concerned about the wizard in Pathfinder 2e with virtually every ancestry getting spellcasting. Yeah, I don't mind that because, you know, it's still different. It's not like, I don't know. Like, what do you mean every ancestry? Do they all get like some kind of weird feat that they can choose that makes them good at spellcasting? Because I feel like they all get a feat that allows them to be good at martial too. Like a goblin can bypass the D6 hit points to the D10
I
hit
think
points.
they do some of that though, so that it's like, oh, you kind of want to, you want to do
Play,
a little bit of this over here. Hey, you can kind of do that if you want to. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think it's because they want to give everybody spells.
Barking cricket. Don't worry, we won't tell your wife. Animal companions, they just add new ones.
Like what?
Ape, arboreal sapling, bat, boar, riding drake, scorpion, shark. Familiars. Fairy dragon, imp, spell slime.
You get a fairy dragon?
You can. It's an option.
I feel like I haven't seen those as an option for familiar in a while. I feel like there was an option in 2nd edition. Yeah?
I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't remember. Barking cricket. She's a godsend, and I wouldn't trade her for the world. That's good, barking cricket. I wouldn't trade mine either. Archetypes. So there's a lot of new archetypes. Acrobat. I'm not going to read them all, but Archer, Assassin, Bastion, Beastmaster, Dual Weapon Warrior, a Dragon Disciple, Herbalist, Pirate, Medic, Sentinel, Snarecrafter, Vigilante, Viking, Weapon Improviser. You know, a bunch of cool stuff. It's a good concept for rounding off your character, but it saturates and normalizes magic a little more than I like. But I think they do it with everything, and it's so that there isn't a suboptimal option. It's so you can, if you want to play, you know, whatever, and it be good for that class, you can. It's a balance thing is what it comes down to. 5e did the same thing, where every single class had a spell casting option. You know, fighters have a spell casting option. Barbarians have some spell casting. Rogues. Obviously the Rangers.
If you don't have it there,
Paladins.
you can always just take the feats.
Yeah.
You know, and like, oh, okay, I can do a little bit of this, you know, grab a couple cantrips or whatever.
Right. So yeah, anyway, so it's got all these different archetypes. I don't really understand archetypes for this yet. The Dragon Disciple looks interesting. It's a dude with flaming hands and he's got those hooks on his wing wrists.
Screw you. I'm not even on camera here, you guys. I suck at this.
You know, if you never would have moved the camera, actually you would
be
on camera right now.
Screw you. That's not true.
Actually, it is true.
I was trying to paint over here so that I could stay on camera. So, lies.
Gladiator, Linguist, Marshal, Mauler, Poisoner, Scout, Shadow Dancer. Ooh, the Viking looks great.
Does it?
He does not look like a Viking. The weapon improviser looks like in The Last Kingdom, the barbarian girl who was taken as a slave.
Oh, yeah?
And then got pregnant and then wanted to kill, what's his name?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anyways, it looks like her. All right. The feats. The general feats. The thing that everybody wants to know about. Melchior, Hiya Barky, and everyone else. I be here. Sales Bible. That's fair. Maybe I'm just a magic purist. Yeah, maybe. I get it. I'm fine with it. I think everyone's entitled to their beliefs.
So I get like your opinion on there because it sort of takes away sometimes from what magic users get to do, because a lot of times, like, oh, if you are a magic user, you're not usually as good at all of these other things. And so from that element, it kind of like steals their thunder a little bit.
But it's not in the classes in this. It's in the ancestries, that almost all ancestries have an option that gives them some spellcasting.
Yes, but
But you're not going to take that if you're not playing a spellcaster in a lot of cases.
No, but I'm just saying, like, I get what he's saying, because if you are playing a spellcaster, you're kind of like, oh, now I'm not special anymore.
Right.
And it's like, oh, man, that sucks.
So looking at the feats, general feats, hireling manager, improvise repair, keen follower, pick up the pace, persistent planner, skitter, thorough search, persistent prescient consumable, super taster.
What are you reading?
Gain secret checks to detect poison by taste, basically. A super taster. These are general feats. A home in every port, caravan leader, incredible scout, true perception. Here's skill feats. Armor assist, seasoned, assured identification, discreet inquiry, consult the spirits. Like, there's a bunch of other ones. Battle planner. Yeah, I don't know. They're okay. Not really. General feats aren't meant to be like super powerful. So, all right. I'm not going to read all the spells, but let's just say this right off the bat. The very first arcane spell is one that was sorely missing from the core rulebook. And it's one that is called Animate Dead. So you can now officially make a necromancer, whereas you could not do that before. And I know that was something that people really wanted.
So are there spells that like aren't just like a dead ripoff of other spells?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to read. It looks like they do a better job. I don't know if they do a better job. It looks like there's a couple spells that take advantage of the 3-action economy to allow you to do different things. But again, there's not a ton of them. Yeah, like one of them, it just impacts how many targets you're doing.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Oh, hey, what did you have to say about the aromatherapy channel? So I was making jokes about essential oils and stuff, man.
We
I don't know. That ship sailed 2 hours ago.
We had strategies built in for you and stuff like that. I mean, like, I don't know.
Paula was excited about it.
Is this a real thing?
Yeah. Is it a real thing?
I'm just saying.
Ritual spells. All right. So items is actually another big section in here. They added some new weapons. A sword cane, claw blade, Kakara, Tengu Gale Blade, Wakizashi. Ranged weapons, they got a bola and a daikyu. Adventuring gear, brass ear, concealed sheath, detective's kit, dueling cape, net, parrying scabbard, periscope. New kits, obviously, for the new classes. Good that they didn't oversee that. Treasure tables. Alchemical items. There's quite a few of those. Quite a few.
Chance says, heck yeah, it's legit. I love it.
It occurred to me that the roles of alchemist... Oh, speaking of alchemist. So Paula did not realize when we were talking about alchemists, I explained to her that there's different types of alchemists. You might have an alchemist that makes potions that, you know, buff people. You might have an alchemist that makes bombs that do different things, like throw a bomb for healing, throw a bomb to blow up fire, to do ice damage, like all these things. And then they have like these mutagens that they can use to drink or give to someone else to drink and then transform them into like a monster or a creature that can do cool stuff. So the one thing that I've heard as a complaint about this edition is that at first level or low levels, there's not a lot of good mutagens. It's basically like low levels are all bombers until you get a little bit higher. And so I was hoping this book would change that. It did not. It has a poison dart and it has another bomb, I think. That's about it. Maybe call the class scientist, and you have 3 possible ways to focus the class: chemistry, engineering, or biology. Right, you could. I'm actually in the process of partnering with Rocky Mountain Oils and Windmere Naturals right now. So are you like a Rocky Mountain Oils, Windham Naturals salesperson then? Like, I don't understand what's going on here. I'm very confused, dude. Or is it just a YouTube channel? Like, is it legit just another YouTube channel?
We need details.
I asked these questions earlier.
Like, so are you making stuff with these, or are you like just advising, or like what's your?
He's doing videos. I'm gonna see if I can get them to sponsor my videos and show them on their websites. Oh, okay.
Oh, cool.
Magic Consumables.
I would be interested in your videos.
She probably would.
That's
Permanent
more
magic
my
items and
scene
runes.
than Lee's scene.
I mean, I'm all for having like good smelling stuff, like a lavender diffuser in my game room. I'd be all for it. Especially on game nights when you got 5 stinky people up in here. I know, I would use it. Permanent magic items and runes. We should use that in our bedroom. We have not used that in a long time.
Yeah, get it out.
You'll get it out?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, Chance, is that he strongly dislikes...
I love candles.
He strongly dislikes, like, incense.
I hate incense. I hate the smell of coffee.
Anything like that. So he's fairly particular about... So sometimes when he leaves, I'm like, I
associate coffee with cigarettes because, like, I've had teachers that smoked and drank a ton of coffee. My aunt smoked and drank coffee, so when I'd stay at her house, I'd wake up in the morning, I'd smell coffee and steal cigarettes. So that's, I think, why I don't like that. When it comes to incense, it's similar, where people smoked and then they used incense to cover up the smell of smoke, and I think that's why I don't like that either.
So frequently, like, so when I make coffee, now I'm using mostly a French press.
Which is way better.
Which he loves because it doesn't smell.
Yeah, it doesn't smell throughout the whole house.
Like...
Although I'm open to trying that Paizo, not the Paizo, but the Paizo branded coffee. They're the 2 that they have. I don't know why, but like I watched No Nat's video on the Goblin Brew or whatever, and he was like, "This is really smooth. Like this is the non-coffee drinker's coffee." And like I'll drink like French vanillas and stuff because I want caffeine, but like that's not coffee. You know?
Yeah, it doesn't taste anything like coffee.
But I like how it tastes. I would love to like coffee. I want to like coffee. Right? I don't know. Just saying. Melchior, the idea would be that the scientist can focus in making attack potions, making things like mundane or enhanced weapons, or making mutagenic or healing medicines. That's an alchemist, man. The role of scientist would be able to make all 3. But you'd have to focus in one direction in order. See, you don't have to do that. And in Pathfinder 2nd Edition, you're an alchemist, and you just take whichever feat you want. So you could do all 3 things, or you could like go down whichever path you want if you want to be really good at mutagens or whatever. But you could do all 3. Chance said YouTube with affiliate marketing right now, but it'll lead to future businesses. Imagine this, Juice. Custom-made, personalized cologne. Are you going to get me my own personalized cologne? Can we call it Con Crud? And basically it smells like BO in a bottle. No, I'm just kidding. Cameron says, damn, now I want coffee. Caden's cup sounded a little bit more tasty to me. It almost sounded like it had a chocolate taste to it. If I remember right. What is it? I can't remember the name of the company now. Goblin Brew is the Goblin. Caden's Cup is the other one. They're $20 for a bag.
Guys, I love coffee.
Yeah, Paula loves it. So I also was like, man, we should see about getting some and reviewing it on the channel. Like, I don't drink coffee, so I would have a different opinion than Paula, right? You know, it might be interesting for us to sit there with our branded, awkwardly nerdy, and master the game mugs and drink these coffees and see if we like them. I don't know. What do you think? Would you be interested in hearing what somebody who doesn't like coffee thinks of these coffees?
No, they want to know what I think of the coffee.
Are you sure?
I drink coffee.
But you're going to like it no matter what because it's coffee.
Yeah, but you said I'm cooler than you, so...
Did I say that?
Yeah.
I don't think I said that.
Yeah, you say that that's why people come to the stream.
Chance said, sure thing, Brav.
I'm cool.
I'll let you know when the operation's up and running. See, he's going to get me my special Juice brand cologne. That is kind of cool. That would be awesome. Wouldn't that be cool to be like, I have my own cologne? You don't think that'd be sweet? Like, I've always thought it would be cool to have something like that. Or your own hot sauce. Or your own beer. Or your own soda. Or whatever. Like, I just feel like that's kind of cool. You know?
I mean, like, yeah, but...
Like, this is our own branded drink. Or, like, imagine a wine bottle that's got, like, a D20, like, glass screw on top or something. Or liquor bottle with a glass D20 screw on top.
Well, we could try and make our own wine. Like,
yeah.
You know?
Yeah, but you're not a big wine drinker.
No.
I would want it to be more like one of those dessert wines from the Hudsonville Winery.
Yeah, that's easier.
Yeah, in fact, I would even reach out to them and be like, hey, I want to do something like this. Actually, maybe we might have something here. I don't know. We're going to have to talk about this off air. I'm thinking of a cut down or simplified RPG where roles are more strictly defined and you can't multi-class, although some aspects may overlap across classes. Honestly, make your own game, man. I'm cool with it. Roll Stats says homebrew coffee. Roll Stats, Initiative Coffee's in your backyard. Have you tried their coffee? I hear their stuff's pretty good too. But again, I don't drink coffee. So yeah, I just got through all the equipment. This is a cool book. Like, I think they did a great job. There's not like any fluff. It's all substance. It's all options. It's basically a Pathfinder fan's wet dream. Like, it's got everything you want. So again, the new ancestries: Catfolk, Kobolds, Orcs, Ratfolk, Tengu, and then the versatile heritages. I talked about the Changeling, Dhampir, Aasimar, Tiefling, and the other one that's like a spirit-based thing. You got new feats for all the ancestries. You have some new heritages for them, I believe. You got 4 new classes. You have new feats for all the old classes, new options for animal companions and familiars, new backgrounds, new archetypes. Actually, you do have new backgrounds, common and rare. It's good stuff. So right now, you guys are going to hear it. I fully endorse this product, 100%. If you like Pathfinder 2nd Edition, you'll love this book, and your group's going to get a lot of use out of it. I feel like with just these books, the more comfortable I get with the system, this could last me longer than what 5e has lasted me, and that was 5 years. You know? Just
because there's more options.
Yeah, it's more variety. Yeah, the stories, I feel like, that you naturally get there, you know, are just, it's there for me. It works for me. Roll Stats. I'm an intelligence guy. So then Chance said, I'm going to factor in the concepts of aromatherapy as well, so it'll serve therapeutic benefits. Master the Game seal of approval. Yeah, so I love lavenders, things like that. Some of my favorite colognes are like Nautica. I used to like the Adidas cologne too. That was a good one. I did like that.
Don't smell anything like lavender.
No, I know. Well, I'm just throwing out some smells I like. I love the cucumber watermelon or whatever the hell that was. Cucumber melon from back
You
in the
mean,
day.
like,
The Bath and Body Works scent. You know what I'm talking about.
No, I know
That
what
was
you're
popular.
talking about.
I love the natural, what is it? Natural Spring Harbor, like, it's like a blue candle, typically from, what are those called? What's the name of that candle company?
Yankee?
No, not like a candle you buy at the store. The candles that are like sold from like at parties.
Party Light?
Yes. They have
Is
some
that a thing
amazing
anymore?
stones. I don't know. My mom used to sell that stuff. I used to love some, like Morning Dew was one of them. Loved that one.
That's just like...
Just a scent.
I know, but that's...
I'm just talking about what I like. That's all. We're talking about aromatherapy. That stuff makes me happy and calm.
Yeah,
I'm not saying there's science behind it.
The direction that he's going with aromatherapy is a little bit different than like your interpretation.
I don't know squat about any of this stuff, so probably.
You know. So like, I'm just saying.
I don't deny that. I don't deny it. All right, let's move these to my folder. So I also got a couple adventure paths from Paizo. I got the very first Agents of Edgewatch. That's 1 of 6. I've got the Slithering. I also got Lost Omens Legends, which that comes out at the end of this month. And then, what is this other one? Oh, and then this one. Yeah. So I got all those from Paizo today. So I will be looking into those a little more. You know, we'll be talking about them. Get some reviews up on the channel for some Paizo products. And, you know, hopefully if you guys are interested in Pathfinder, you'll find some value there. So, you know, we'll make something work. Haha. Dude, I trust you. I'm sure you'll find something that I love. I'm cool with it. That would be wild to have my own. Like, here, Paula, this now is me. Nobody else has this.
You're so weird.
Get like get a D20 shaped cologne bottle. Come on.
I could put it next to my skulls.
You could put it next to your skull perfume bottle. Yeah. That would be cool though.
I mean.
Then we get to set up shop at like conventions selling the D20 cologne next to the D20 wine. Actually, you couldn't do the wine because you need a liquor license. But you know, you could do orders like, hey, I can't bring it here, but here's our website. You can order our wine. You know, oh, that'd be cool. That'd be fun. I don't know. It would just be a really fun bucket list item kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know? The Master the Game brand. Juice brand. Ooh, awkwardly nerdy brand.
You can write your own bottle of juice.
Okay, so right off the bat, no gin and juice. I don't like gin, so like if it was a liquor based product, it could not be gin. I'm just saying that it can't. Literally though, I'm actually looking at custom bottle wholesalers right now, dude. I think that's awesome. I would be open to discuss something like that eventually.
Well, if you want artistic opinions, I have those. That's about my only input.
There you go.
But, like, really, you know, I don't know.
I love it.
I'm not saying that I would be part of your target demographic for that type of thing, but,
stuff?
like, I'm part of your target demographic. Unless you're really focusing in on men. Then I got nothing for you.
Maybe he is. What's wrong with that?
I'm not saying. I said unless.
What's wrong with that?
Saying.
Sound like you got problems with it. What's going on? I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm renaming these files. I don't like how the PDFs are named. So like the Advanced Player's Guide is PZO2105E. And I'm going to actually just make it called the Advanced Player's Guide after that.
They probably have a naming convention they have to stick to for file names.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure that's what it is. So what do you guys think of Pathfinder? I know, obviously, Chance likes Pathfinder. Bill, roll stats. What do you think? I mean, I know you're a rules light guy, but does Pathfinder sound cool or no? Like, what do you think? Cameron, what do you think? I want to know what you guys think of 2nd edition Pathfinder.
I think they're all interested in playing, and they've formed their own group.
Yeah, have they?
I don't know, man.
Aiming at professionals, lawyers, accountants, salespeople, etc.
Okay, so I'm still part of your target demographic.
I think he's telling you you're not. I
Are
think
you
he's
saying,
like,
Are you
no.
saying I'm not professional?
Probably. I mean, why not? I don't know. All right, so this is the Agents of Edgewatch Player's Guide. That's free, by the way, to anybody who wants it.
Roll Stats is not pumped. He is not coordinating a game at this time.
No, not interested in...
I mean, he said, Matt, I mean, I'm sure it's fine.
Time it did this, it crashed us.
Uh-oh.
It did this just the other night. No, you don't be... Oh, there it goes. Oh, it hiccuped. Okay. I guess what I'm saying is I don't see myself investing a ton of money into it. Oh, yeah, no. I get that. I see myself being into it, obviously. But I can understand why you wouldn't. As a rules light guy. I understand. And I've been that way for a while. Like, it was 5e was like the system for me. But I'm starting to change.
Okay, so it's 11:15.
Yep, you ready then?
We might need to
How's your painting coming?
Wrap this up. It's going pretty good. I don't know. This is what the wing looks like. Turn it to the other one.
Turn what? Oh, the one that you... I thought you wanted that one, though.
So this is what the wing looks like.
Right.
So far. So I think that's looking okay. It's really dark, but that's fine. So I ended up priming this with gray because when we bought it, some of it was already primed in gray. So then I just felt like if I tried to prime over with white, then I would just end up with some sort of weird mashup. So it was best to just bite the bullet and do it all in gray. So it's kind of dark because I would like this pink to be really bright. So I gotta work on that part. But this is looking okay here.
Okay.
This is starting to get better right here.
Mm-hmm.
So then the base is looking okay. You can't see that. This is what the base looks like. So this is looking pretty okay.
Mm-hmm.
So this needs a lot of highlights and stuff like that. And maybe a little splash of some bright colors. And probably a little bit more brown. But I think this is looking okay.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to add some more of this this moss stuff that's up here. I think I'm going to sprinkle that around in some of these other areas, which it's not necessarily supposed to be moss, but I feel like it would sort of just tie it together a little bit better. So I think I should do that.
Okay.
And I think I should make a little bit more moss up here. But I think it's looking okay so far. Don't you think?
Mm-hmm.
You know? I mean, there's a lot of, bone to do.
Right.
But I feel like the bone that I've done so far is looking good. This looks pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
For only doing the base and then starting to do or only doing the primer and then starting to do just a little bit of paint. So it's working. It's just going to take a little while to do all of it.
I wonder if people are crucifying me in the Pathfinder group. They're like, hey, you were supposed to go live. You never went live.
You're going to have to, when you...
7 notifications.
When you publish the video, can you shorten the beginning?
What do you mean shorten it?
I don't know. Can you cut into the beginning? So that... Or
we never were recording.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we didn't get any of it, unfortunately. I made a big foobar.
I know, but it didn't... It wasn't just sitting there, like, your video is not going to have an hour and a half of nothing at the beginning.
No, it's just non-existent.
Okay.
I wasn't
Cool.
doing anything. Oh, Chance at 8:59. What's going on with the live stream? Great question, Chance. So, anyways, tomorrow I will probably be looking at the Lost Omens Legends. I'm going to just quickly glance at that just so I understand what it is. I think it's like an NPC book. I think it's all about the NPCs. And so you get like stat blocks and stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm going to find out real quick.
Yeah. I don't even know how this whole thing goes together.
It's basically an NPC book. Oh, and it's all... Okay. Wow, okay.
I shouldn't do this because I don't know how it goes together. I don't know what I'm doing. Clearly.
So this is a lot of... That's an interesting book. I don't know. Maybe I'll look at that on stream or something. But there's some cool stuff, it looks like. Good art. A lot of reading for that, which is cool. I like it. I dig it. Oh, I just passed a really cool looking barbarian. Kivoth Cool, Black Sovereign of Numeria. Yeah, he's got like a massive... It looks like a massive like buster sword with circuits through it. But he does not look like he's a tech-based guy. But his sword looks like a circuit board almost, but it's not a circuit board. I don't know. Interesting. Very interesting. I don't know. There's cool stuff in here. So maybe I'll look at that. I don't know. Maybe I'll pull up the Advanced Player's Guide again tomorrow. Maybe I'll redo the first part that you guys all missed. You know, why not? And then Paula will really get...
pretend, like nobody was here, because, like, nobody was here.
Basically. Maybe I'll look at the Agents of Edgewatch Player's Guide, since that's, like, the very controversial adventure path that's out now because of, due to police and stuff. Maybe I'll look into that a little bit. You'll get my live reaction on some of that stuff. So either way, we'll have fun.
That should be a fun debate.
Well, if it's a debate. I don't know. I don't think we should necessarily debate it.
I meant between you and I.
Yeah, I don't know if we should actually debate that, though.
It would end up as a debate.
There's too much politics going on right now anyway. So I don't know if I'll debate anything, but I might try to look at the positive of what they're trying to do.
On the other hand, I'm just going to say this, that politics defines our society. So part of, I think, my opinion on why we have such division is because we're not allowed to talk about anything. And, like, everybody's so offended.
What are you talking about?
Anything.
That's all you talk about with people at work. I hear it all the time when you're on the phone.
That's mostly just select people. And
Sure. Either way. So Barking Cricket says, I'm still new to levy a verdict on Pathfinder, but I'm looking forward to it and I'm excited. Yeah. That's how kind of how I feel, minus the verdict. I think my verdict is out. I'm obviously I haven't said I love it, but at the same time I think I do. I just haven't played it yet. But I'll be playing it very soon.
Yeah, I feel like you gotta try everything once.
Yeah.
But...
Like, I have an opinion, but I feel like it's not set in stone for me yet.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm playing because it sounds interesting, but I'm not gonna lie that I've played games before in the past where I've been like, yeah, this sounds like it's going to be super interesting. And then it was just like, nope.
You couldn't pick up on how it worked?
Nope. No. Picking up on how it works is fine. That's never my problem. Mm-hmm. It's just, do I like it? Do I agree with it? Do the rules make sense? Like, sometimes it's just like, this isn't working for me.
Okay. Roll stats. Fighter, Thief, Magic User, and Cleric. Throw in races, class, and you just created BX. Basically, you're telling Melchior he's creating BX. I love it. It seems to me that one of the alchemist directions covers the role of cleric quite adequately in my system. Gotcha. Well, technically you can do that in Pathfinder 2nd Edition too. They already have the ability to throw bombs that heal. So basically they can serve as a cleric too. And from range. Chance said, NGL, I think the US is in trouble, which means Canada is in big trouble. Haha. I think it depends on the person. It's a treatment that has an insanely long history, though. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, like, if he's up in Canada? Yeah, like, if you want to come rescue us, it's cool. I mean, I don't know.
I would move to Canada, probably. But I would want to live, like, near Toronto or something cool. Or, like, near Vancouver, like, Vancouver, yeah. Like, way over on the west coast. That would be cool. But I like cities. I love big cities. Always have. Probably always will. Calgary might be cool.
I'm just saying, we might need your help in the future. We might not. So just, like, keep us in mind.
Yeah, maybe.
Who knows? I guess we're going to see how it's going to go.
Yeah, I'm not banking on it. I'm not trying to actively move. I like Michigan. I just wish I was on the other side of Michigan. I love the Ann Arbor area. I'm within, like, 30 minutes of Detroit. So, like, concerts and stuff, you're, like, 30 minutes away. Like, Ann Arbor's a nice, fast-paced area. Good restaurants, good variety. You know. Roll stats. I love Lamp. Chance said he's probably moving to Bali at the end of the year. I'd recommend you come with. Milkier. My basis for this new RPG is two things. Lord of the Rings and minimum magic possible.
Milkier is so great. He's just, like,
In
still
his world?
talking about, like, you know, he's like, and everybody else is
Cool
doing,
with it.
you know, like, I think it's great.
Oh, no, I think it's cool. I think everybody, if they've got a vision for a game system, then they should just do it. I'm fully supportive of that. I've had so many people tell me not to create my own system that it just makes me want to create my own system even more. I hate when people tell someone else not to pursue something they want to do. I hate that.
Chan says Canada's screwed. We have maybe 5 years, assuming the U.S. doesn't collapse before that.
Oh, because your economy's so tied to us? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, I don't know.
I think that's what he's implying. I don't know. Doesn't matter. I don't really want to talk about it. Don't care. Don't even care anymore. Like, I'm totally checked out on all that stuff. It is what it is. It was a day. It was definitely a day. Roll Stats knows what I'm talking about. So, anyways, no, we should go. I want to eat. I'm thirsty. I need more water. I've needed water for over an hour. Basically, as soon as I realized the stream wasn't working was right before I was about to get some water. That bums me out. I am so bummed out it wasn't working.
Guys, he's going to be complaining about it all night. Tomorrow.
Tomorrow I'll make it up to everybody. We will be live at 8:30. Whether Paul is out here or not. And we will have a good time.
Chance, I have so many questions.
What?
Different time. We'll talk about it.
So I'm trying to make magic possible, but so dangerous or costly that you need to be high level before it becomes safe and possible. So that's kind of like Fantasy Age. They make magic. Well, Dragon Age.
Every time he's just like,
By
I'm
Green
doing
Ronin.
something different. You're like, hey, that's sort of like this thing.
You can die casting spells, like, and it's not hard to die casting spells in the Dragon Age RPG by Green Ronin. Rollstat says,
Okay.
Yerp, done. Chance fragrances, protection more than economy, but probably not worth getting into here. See ya, my brother. Message me whenever. Yeah, for sure. All right, guys. Thanks for watching, and we'll post pictures over on the Patreon. With that, this was Master the Game. Whatever. You know what we're talking about. Game on, guys.